As the nights grow longer and the veil thins, lantern light has always been a way to honor those who came before us. In this video, I'll show you how to craft a DIY paper ancestor lanterns using black cardstock, vellum, and cherished family photos. These lanterns aren't just decoration, they're glowing tributes, guiding our ancestors' spirits and keeping their memories close. Let's begin this sacred little craft together. These are the craft supplies that we're going to use today. It's very, very simple and very easy. All you're going to need is a printer. These are the PDF downloads that you'll be able to find if you're a Patreon member for Pagan Crafting, as well as you'll find these PDF downloads on my Etsy store. This is the hanging lantern on the right, and this is the table sit-down lantern in my hands. This is going to be a guide to help size your photos with you. And these are the photos I'm going to be using. I printed them out on some paper first to see if they would fit. And then later on, I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. But this is a vellum. And I use this to help cut out my pictures later so I can line them up easier inside the lantern at a later date. Starting off with our black cardstock paper and one of each of our printouts for our lanterns. This cardstock paper that I just purchased it on Amazon, and it was 96 pounds, I believe. Quite thick cardstock, and I'm hoping to have that extra durability for what I have in mind for these lanterns. Simple cutting them out. I chose two of each, two of the hanging and two of the sit down, and I have dotted lines here for you to follow along and fold along the dotted lines. Now, if you keep your white paper that you printed out over top of it, it's going to be a lot easier in the long run. A couple times I took off the white paper thinking it was going to be faster to do the fold, and oddly, it was not. So that's okay. So back to the paper. So I'm using a popsicle stick here. You can use whatever flat edge that you have. Get a really good sharp edge with these because we are folding a couple pieces of paper. So I do go over it with a flat piece to help me out to get a sharper points there. So I'll have a really nice fold when I glue everything together. I almost cut out the windows there, don't mind me. But we're going to cut out the windows last, and there's a reason for that. We have so much folding to do, and here's where I try it without the paper, thinking, yeah, no, it didn't work. It was so much quicker and so much easier to fold with the paper first and then take that off later. Now, don't cut out the windows first, like I was saying before I interrupted myself. You want to cut that out last because out of all the folds, the durability is not the same when you're cutting those creases and working towards those. So, look at that. That's going to look so cool. Ooh. See? Same size, same pictures. All right. So one of these I am going to do with all my grandparents and great-grandparents. And then one of the lanterns I'm going to do my daughter, myself, my mother, and my grandmother. So I'm using the guidelines that I printed out to help line up my pictures. So that way when I glue it on the other side, I'm not going to see any weird lines from the previous pictures. Now, you could use a hole punch to my right or to my left. Dun, 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 my new hole punch. So excited. It's a star punch. Look at this. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow. I'm so excited. I love stars and I love neat little things. So we're going to make this into a little Moroccan flavor style lanterns. So each one of the corner of the frames, we're gonna hole punch or star punch, whatever you have. But I also found this star punch on Amazon and it was quite inexpensive. Read the reviews, there was two kinds there. And then just, oh, willy-nilly, just have some fun and just star punch in some holes for the top on all the triangle bits, not the folded lines. We're going to be taping those. Now I'm going to use double-sided tape here for scrapbooking tape. They're the best. And I'm just going to hit all the edges first, and then I'm going to be putting the pictures. Make sure you have them the right way around. And all my pictures, what I did, I took them on. You can use like Canva for free. You can use a Photoshop. You can use a simple editor on your computer. You can probably find an app on your phone. But I changed all the photos to black and white and I lightened them up a little bit. So that's why when the light's shining behind the pictures in the lantern, you'll be able to see more of the color coming through. So some of these pictures, the old pictures that I went through in the albums from my grandmother's album, some of them were quite dark. Some of them were like super exposed and super bright. But I just adjusted that on my computer. All right, so double-sided tape on all our folds, and take your time here. Now here I use double-sided tape. Another lantern I use hot glue. I will say that I prefer the hot glue. It was just as quick, but a couple areas pulled apart a little bit. And I think it would give it some sharper lines if you did the hot glue instead of the double-sided tape, or you can do both, whichever you dig on. Lining everything up, giving everything good fold. There's me, there's my daughter, there's my grandmother. Let's have a look. I'm excited. This is the first time. Oh, so cool. Look at my pretty mama. Oh, wow, it turned out. Sometimes you don't know if your vision's going to work or not. Now, what we're going to do here, I have some, I guess they're just kind of index plastic inserts for your binders for school. And again, we're going to star punch out, get all willy-nilly, and just have some fun here. Let me just quickly do this. And what I'm going to be doing here with the purple is going to make a couple of hanging lanterns. We're going to make a few of them actually for my daughter's room, but these are going to be two prototypes and she picked purple. So I'm going to have to go back to the dollar store to grab some more so I can have some more purple ones. So same thing. So what I'm going to do, because this is a little stiffer than using the vellum paper that I had previously, and I guess I could cut out each window and make it work, but I just don't feel like it. So I'm not gonna, and that's okay too. So not going to be perfectionist. We're just going to hot glue this bad boy down. So we want the durability going in the creases and the corners too, so it'll hold out really well, as well as outlining all the way around the frame. And this will give some really cool back. And there were some, like, you know, those little glue strings that came right off. It was fantastic. So this one I decided to use hot glue, which I highly suggest. And then you just pinch it at the bottom and it held together really, really, really well. And it didn't bulk up, I was surprised, but just put a fine line on it. And you could use whatever color of cardstock paper you like for this. I was just kind of going for the old world flavor. And then when I made this, I kind of had a thought. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if there's some bigger lanterns. Put them together. So that's a possibility too. I think you'd have to just cut out one section, I believe, to make it work. We'll play with that idea in just a moment. So you could also use other images, any other type of images you'd like that you can print out on the vellum. You can do a Halloween one, you can do some spider webs, you can do some ghosties, you can do some horror scenes, but I think with this one, I really love the Ancestor feel. It just gives me that little calling upon. It's like a way to guide them. I can have a little guiding light of their journeys coming towards us. So there you can see I was just playing around with making the lanterns a little bit larger. And I showed my daughter. She wasn't feeling it. She likes the 4-sided lanterns, the smaller ones. I really wish I had bigger cardstock to make even bigger lanterns. But our prototypes are looking pretty good. I love the purple in it, and I was hoping to do some orange. I was going to cut out some orange triangles for the top, but I got voted out, so that's okay. They are for my daughter, so I guess no orange, but I thought it would look cool. Sad face, but that's okay. I need to get some more purple, and I can try that out. So when the light's shining in them, you should see all the stars reflect on the walls. Oh, super excited. Now let's step up our lanterns a little bit. I'm using an espresso metallic. You could use a copper finish, you could use a gold, you could use a silver metallic. I wouldn't use a sparkle. I would just go with the metallics and a nice dry brush, hitting all the edges. I'm going to give it a metal look to this. And I overdid it in one area, so just dry brushing over it. Again, hitting all the little corners and fluffing up over the edges. I think this looks like metal. Oh my gosh, it worked. Sometimes you're not quite sure. I'm very, very, very happy today. This is a very fun idea that came true. I think this is a really cool, unique way to honor your ancestors. It's a way to guide their spirits during Samhain. You can have these on your altar. You can have them hanging outside. Oh my gosh. They would look so cool during Samhain, hanging in the trees. Just use some little fairy lights and push them through the top portion. That's why I designed the top to cruise in that way. But there you have it, our paper Ancestor lanterns, glowing softly with light, memory, and magic. This craft may seem simple, but when you place these photos inside and light the lantern, it's becomes something much more. It's a bridge to your loved ones, a way of honoring and guiding their spirits. If you enjoyed this project, please ring that bell and subscribe for more witchy crafts and art magic. I would love to hear in the comments how you honor your ancestors during this season. Thank you for joining me in this sacred little creation, and may your lanterns shine brightly, guiding your ancestors close this Samhain. Until next time, blessed be.